Welcome to the show. Here, we will gain the perspectives of people who could potentially show us the path of becoming who we want to be and living the life we want to live, all through personal growth. So sit back and relax. This is Joey's Perspectives. Welcome back to Joey's Perspectives, episode 2. Glad we can make it at least this far. Really hoping making sure that we're always progressing every episode. Today, we're actually welcome back Danny Boy.
Yeah, what's good? I've made it back.
So it's good to have him here. And today's topic, we do have a specific topic, so we're not bouncing around everywhere. What's that topic?
It'll be about college.
Oh, it's going to be the pros and cons of college. It's going to be, is college for you? And if it is, great. And if not,
Yeah,
what
I feel
other
like
avenues?
there's a lot to talk about when it comes down to college, because I know we've got a lot of people that are with it and support it, which is okay, and then there's some other ones that aren't, which is okay either. So I think this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
To
And
talk about.
the reason why I brought on Daniel for this podcast was because, he's going to college currently to get a degree, and I'm not. So it's kind of two sides of the point of view, and two sides with people who have a common sight in the future on where we want to be. So it's kind of nice to have those two perspectives. So let's just start with my perspective. I tried to go to college. We talked about that on the last podcast. I made it through a whole 2 weeks of the first semester. One of the big reasons why I dropped out was I didn't understand the necessity of a lot of the classes they were going to make me take to get a degree, like introduction to college or physical education class. Honestly, I'd get in arguments all the time with the counselor saying, "Oh, you need this to graduate," and I was like,
No, you don't.
not today." But that's one of the main reasons why I dropped out, and also for what I'm wanting to go into. I don't need a degree, but I do believe in education 100%.
I agree. Yeah, education is good. It doesn't matter where you get it from, as long as you get it, right? It doesn't have to be from a college. A college, you just get it from experienced, I guess, people that have some. But then they also learned it from hands-on experience, right? So, which means that it's something that we can all do too.
Yeah, 100%. I personally feel a college degree is kind of just like a piece of paper. Colleges, they need to make money. They're businesses, so they grab your money. And if the college system, in my opinion, worked how it was supposed to nowadays, it wouldn't be the biggest U.S. debt. We are $1 trillion in debt for college in the U.S., and it's the debt that is non-forgivable. Even if you die, your next of kin have to take on that debt. It's unforgivable because of how big it is.
Holy cow, dude! I didn't know that. So that's definitely a con. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you're going to college to make money after, not to be in debt with someone. So to me, if you're bringing that up into, I guess, the equation, whether if it's worth it or not, I'd really consider. I mean, if it's actually worth to go, or if you have the money. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of money, to be honest. I mean, you just brought up some stats. That's a lot. And I know from personal experience, buddies and stuff that don't have the money to pay up front. The only way they have is to get a loan. And that's, I feel like, one of the things that society is telling you. You have to go to college. You need to go to college. But if you're going to college and getting debt, and then, I mean, I don't think it's a good. I mean, you may learn a lot, but then afterwards you're in debt.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said about the money, like there's so many different factors and to consider, to even consider going to college. You got to look at all your options, weigh out all the things. And also, like you were saying about the society just telling you that's what you need to do. We've had the same system in our school since back in the day. I mean, since a long time ago.
Yeah,
I
been a
mean, maybe
long time.
like 30 years ago or even more. You get your degree and, you make enough money. You don't have to get into debt. And I mean, you can live a good
In the good
life.
old days.
Yeah. Nowadays, you can't even do that. I mean,
Yeah.
just we have the highest educated baristas out there.
For
We
real.
got baristas with,
Honestly.
I mean, bachelor's degree, and you pay all this money for what? You can't even pay it off after college because I mean that's not the way the world works right now.
Hmm.
There's different things you got to look into, and different avenues. And don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I mean, college is there for a reason. I mean, if you're a doctor,
Yeah, I
you
was gonna bring that up. I was exactly thinking about that too. Like, if you're a doctor, I mean, of course, after it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna pay off itself. I mean, doctor is not something you can learn outside of a university from professionals that have done before in a way. So I mean, then that's something that's a something else that we can talk about as well.
Exactly. It's like degrees for degrees, like a business degree. Not to knock anyone who has a business degree or anything. I know a lot of people who've gotten their MBA, and they just say I wasted almost $1 million getting this MBA, and I didn't even need it. I mean, it's good to get different perspectives in college from like different people, but honestly, big business people who I mean are successful in the business world wouldn't be really teaching in college. I mean, they got their big businesses and they're doing their own thing.
Makes sense.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
didn't
honestly,
think about that.
I don't think you can learn. Well, so many. If you think about on the West Coast, most of the colleges, business colleges, most of the deans in the schools aren't even. They don't. They've never owned a business. So how can you run a business school if you don't even know how to do it? You're a theorist.
Right.
You're a
Hmm.
theorist. You don't know how to do it. You've just heard this is how you should do it.
Right. So
If you knew how to do
you're
it, you do
preaching
it.
from someone that's told you it, not from
Exactly.
experience.
So I believe you can only teach by experience. Like that's the only way
Yeah.
you should be able to do it. That's the only way you can impart knowledge. There's two things. You could be qualified and you could be certified. College is a certification. Experience is a qualification.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's the reason why I dropped out of college. But Daniel, what made you stay in college?
For me, I mean, college. Uh, I mean, it started out. It started out as in wanting to get something done in computer science for my first couple of semesters. Then, I mean, I was introduced to the job that I have now, which is in the sales industry, and that really just opened up another side of a different perspective that for me, I mean, I don't. You don't need a college to earn, let's say, a degree or an income, a yearly income or a satisfactory income. So for me, it was more of a backup more than anything. If I mean, businesses or whatever I wanted to get into wasn't working as well as I wanted it to be. And by now, I mean, I'm already done with my associates, so I just need. I'm working on the last one. So at this point, it would be kind of dumb to quit and not get it. And in my point of view, my opinion. So I'm just gonna finish it right now. But that was the reason. It was more of a, I guess, a backup in case anything went south. At least I had something in my
Because of what society's told you.
because of partly because of that's what society wants you to think. I mean, you need it, right? But let's say, I mean, if college wasn't around, then we all would have been like, or we would all have the same, I mean, mind of getting something done because we have to. There is no backup to get you. Like, you need to be successful or you need to get this done to make it happen.
Yeah, I like that point, definitely. That was one of the reasons why I cut college, like the idea of college completely was one of my mentors, one of the people who so into me, they told me, how hard will you work to get your dreams if you know you have a backup plan? And I was like, wow, that's pretty deep.
It is.
So I was like, all
think
right,
about it. Yeah.
cut it out. Like, don't even need that backup anymore because I just, it's no back door. Push forward until you get where you want to go. But what are your plans after you get your associates? You're going to get your associates, what, next couple of months or so?
Yeah, in a few months. To be honest, right now, I'm planning on getting more education, but it's for two things. I like to learn. I like to learn, and I like to connect with people. I like to talk to people. I like to get to know people, and that's part of the reason as well. Honestly, one of the biggest reasons why I'm gonna continue and get a bachelor's. That's what my goal is. It's not so
Your
much.
goal is to get a bachelor's?
Yeah, right now it's not so much of. I'm doing it like I said. I want to get to know people, and I like to learn too.
Okay. So, I feel kind of bad. I've been kind of negative this whole time about
It's all
college.
good, yeah.
So let's just dive into some positive things about colleges, some pros, to how can college benefit you and how I plan on using college to benefit me. So I don't plan on getting a degree at all. No plans for it at all. But I do have a plan to go to college. There is a way to go to college to learn, and it's actually a lot cheaper if you're not trying to get a degree. You could just show up to the classes and do it, but they're not grading you on anything. You're just learning, doing the tests, and it's a lot cheaper, and you get that knowledge that way. I want to do that maybe later down the road when I'm a little bit more financially secure and I have control of time and money. I would like to go spend some time
Dude, that'd be
learning some
cool.
AutoCAD. I like architecture programs and stuff like that. That way I can learn a little bit of
Yeah, I didn't
architecture.
know they had these programs.
Yeah,
where they
design
don't
my
grade
future
you.
house.
I think, yeah, wow. That'd be cool. Where you don't have to worry about, a grade, but it's something that you actually want to take or learn on. So you wouldn't need to be, I guess, motivated because the subject itself motivates you. So you want to be there, you want to learn. That's cool, and they don't grade you. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and you're not doing what like society says, get a degree, do all that, but you're still gaining knowledge. Like, and that's like going back, I don't believe in the college degree or anything, but I do believe in education, and that's definitely a source of education that can help you personally grow, and that's definitely one of the pros. Another pro that I know is we already discussed about, if you have a specific trade and know where you're going, that you need that schooling. Being a doctor, you have to go to medical school to be a doctor. And I don't want to go to any doctor that hasn't been to medical school.
Yeah, definitely not.
And then another one is a lawyer. You need a law degree to practice law. But we'll get into lawyers maybe another time. Not a huge fan. No, but obviously there's specific trades, but like construction. Let's say you want to be a general contractor. Would you go to college or would you just apprentice through another contractor? That way you can learn actually the trade. So there's many different ways to get to education. What pros do you see in college?
The ones that I like, I kind of already talked about them, but to dig deeper into those, one of them I said was connections and learning. So connections, by that I mean that in college you meet so many different people with different backgrounds, and everyone has their own set of skills or something that they're just good at. So you get to know people, you get to know their skills, to know what they're good at. If they have businesses, or if they want to open up a business, or if they have an idea, or you become friends with them, they become family. And later on, you can work with them, you make more connections. And if, like we talked about previously on episode 1, we talked about if you tell me who you surround yourself with, and I'll tell you who you'll be, or who you are in 5 years from now on. And that's something I think it's important. The other one was on learning, connections and learning. Going to class, it's happened to me where I've taken 3 classes that I didn't necessarily need, but I took it because I liked them, and I feel like I've learned a lot more out of those classes that I took on my own that I didn't need for my degree than in any of my other classes. But I learn. I like to learn things. I like to learn things that are going to help me in whatever I'm doing or in the future. That's why I'm still in college, you know?
Yeah, and I agree with that 100%. Networking. I mean, networking wherever you
Networking.
can. That's like,
I
I'm,
think that's a better word for connections. Yeah, networking.
yeah.
That's a good
I
one.
mean, if you don't go to college like me, it's networking. Trust me, it's kind of hard. You have to look through new avenues to network. Um, you have to try to find different places where you could connect with yourself with different people that are um, gonna help you grow. In my job that I was working at previously, I mean, I was just working with a bunch of older people who kind of were already set in their ways and couldn't really grow me, or I wanted to interact in the ways that I wanted. So I had to go and search for a different job, or do different things to where I can connect myself with people that are a little younger, my age as well. The dating life as well. I didn't have much connections there, so I definitely agree that college is probably a great place to do that. And as for the learning as well, you learn what you can progress so much more when you're doing something that you feel you're good at, or something you're passionate about, or something that will help you in the future. So a lot of times in college, when you're getting a degree just to get the degree, I mean, what value does that have to you? Because you just did it to please everyone else. You didn't
Hmm.
do it to progress
Yeah,
yourself.
at that
So
point, you're doing it because of the wave. Because everyone after high school is going to college. Well, I guess I am going to college too, and that's
yeah, and that's going with the flow, in my opinion, is toxic. I mean, where if you're going with the flow, that means you're going wherever the flow takes you. Bad, good or bad. I mean, where the
yeah.
flow takes you, that's where you're going. So you got to make that flow. You better
Hmm.
be that flow, and you better take yourself where you want to go.
Yeah.
So if you guys really want to be where you want to be, or accomplish where what you want to accomplish, just first decide the path where you want to do. Don't be in a rush to go to college. I mean, there's people at all ages in college. Make a game plan. My opinion is, do a 2, 5, 10 year game plan of where you want to be, and see if college fits into that. Do all the pros and cons, and I promise you, if you have a clear sight of where you want to be, you'll know whether or not college is going to be the right answer for you.
Yeah, I agree. Like if you don't have an idea of what you want to be, I mean, if you want to, you can even go to college, figure it out, take some classes that you think you might be interested in, and see if you like it. Or if not, then don't. But I feel like what Joseph said is making a plan so that at least you're aiming towards something. It's gonna help to really get to where you want to be in at the end of 20, 30 years here down the road. Making a plan is really gonna be everything.
And honestly, changing the way you think is what's going to benefit you in your life. So many people are just focused on trying to do something they love, or do something that's fun, but they're not taking into consideration the consequences, or, what can happen for taking that path. So you really want to get a clear vision of who you are, get a clear vision of, what you want to be and where you want to be, and then look at the road and see what needs to be done to get there. Don't just hop in saying, okay, let's do this, let's wing it, and, you know, God will bless us. God helps those who help themselves. I
Hmm.
mean, get a clear vision, choose where you want to be, factor in anything that needs to be factored: money, time, um, networking, all these things that are going to grow you in your life, and then make the executive decision whether college is going to be a good fit for you or not.
Couldn't have said it better. I mean, I know we talked about some of the pros and cons, And I mean, honestly, do what's best for you. We're I mean, we're talking about colleges. For me, I haven't had a bad experience in college, but also it's not like I would have died by not going to college. But in my experience personally, it has helped me. I mean, Joseph didn't go to college. I mean, drop out. No, but he's doing great as well. So you have two, I mean, two stories here. It just kind of depends by what you want to do and about what your plans are here down the road, what you want to accomplish. I do have a question. So for you,
Go for it.
Joseph, from your, I mean, perspective of you not having to go to college, how do you feel? Because you did for a couple weeks. I mean, how do you feel that has impacted your life? I mean, in a good way, bad way, normal way. Has it even impacted in your life at all?
Okay. I don't know if we could consider 2 weeks like actually going to
Like
college.
full on experience
Yeah,
college.
but honestly, college, not going to college had a lot of pros. Obviously, a lot more free time to accomplish other things that needed to accomplish. It also helped me save a lot of money as well. And that money I could invest or save in ways that I wanted to invest and save it. The only hard thing about not going to college was, I mean, the networking. Because of not going to college, I had to get a little smarter about networking, being um, purposeful when I'm going out to talk to people or at work or, with different colleagues or, going to different activities that can connect me with people. I mean, you have college connections as well. So definitely I had to put in more effort in networking, but the benefits I gained by money and time alone honestly really helped me a lot. And I don't think I'm doing too bad. I mean, I live on my own and I do have transportation and, little lujos, luxuries,
Right.
my motorcycle.
Yeah.
So, overall, I do feel like I benefited way more from not going to college in my experience, but just kind of, I had to really focus on getting those skills to network without the college experience. Um, but that was my overall
Mm.
experience.
So okay, so I mean, from what I'm hearing, it was good, and so for me, it has been good. For Joseph, it has been good. So you have two backgrounds here. It's been both good for me and you. So I mean, take it from us, but I mean, also, I mean, I'm sure there are different. I mean, thousands of different stories out there, right? So everyone just make their what's best for you.
Yeah, honestly, and we'd love to hear your comments, what your experience is on going to college or not going to college, if it's helped you get to where you want to be or not, or maybe taking a different avenue, or maybe it wasn't your vision that was clear that destroyed whatever choice you made. But what we're just trying to say, whatever you choose to do, you can make it worthwhile. You can make the difference. So it's all up to you. Well, something that someone told me that really um, made me laugh was the good news. It's all up to you, but the bad news is it's all up to you.
It's
So
true. It's true. You make your decisions. You make your own future.
so you're the common denominator. You're the deciding factor whether you're going to be successful or not. So um, look at what you want to do. Measure all the pros and cons. Don't overstretch yourself for money and or for time either. So you decide. Just look in the future. Think millionaires. They think so far ahead. They don't think about like, oh, I need this now. They think about, okay, if I do this, I can accomplish this in the next 5 years.
Yep.
Make a decision that if it doesn't impact you within the next few years or so, why do it? Why waste the time to make that decision or to do anything regarding that decision if it doesn't impact you or help you in the long run? So make that decision, get a clear vision to make that decision, and just get where you want to. My quote, I mean, if you guys look me up on Instagram, it's gonna be Soto717. You'll see on the front page, it says, decide where you want to be and don't stop till you get there. Just something I want to add on to that is make a plan, get a clear vision. That way, I mean, write little goals, big goals. That way you can keep track of your progress and you can grow to get to where you want to be, whether it's that's with college or not.
Yeah, just like last episode, think big. Think if you think what your goals are kind of, I mean, doable or unreachable, then that's good. You're dreaming big.
I did want to introduce a book on this episode. This book I have read before. It is called Grit by Angela Duckworth. It's an amazing book, honestly. It's about grit. It's about that X factor of what keeps you going, what motivates you, and what common behaviors a successful person has. It says the power of passion and perseverance. Honestly, I just love this book, especially at the end. It goes and dives into you personally. It helps you, choose something that drives you, get a personal motto that's going to drive you in your life, a purpose, a personal, like your purpose to what's going to make that difference.
Sounds good. Sounds like it's a good book. Let me see it. Angela Duckworth, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. Can I get a name, man? I feel like these two things are like just key on everything. Passion, I mean, you got to be passionate about something you like. And then perseverance, just keep with it until it works or until you hit your goal, and then keep going. That's really cool. Sounds like a cool book, and it doesn't even seem that long. It's not that long.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I read it in about a month. And I mean, I'm a really slow reader, and don't get me wrong, reading's hard. Just do a few pages at a time. If you don't read, I highly encourage that you get into the habit of reading, like it or not liking. Like we said, we hate reading, but we read to grow. So do that. Let me know what you guys think of the book. If you guys want me to go through the book and what I thought and my personal mottos and drives, we can do that as well. So definitely leave your guys' comments on what you guys think about college, your experiences as well. We would love to hear that. But yeah, get a clear vision, make the decision. Do you have any signing out words, Daniel?
Yes, I do. I was just reading a page on here that I think is really cool that everyone should do or even consider, even if you're wanting to go to college or not. It says, so this is how without giving you the whole background, I'm just going to do it quick. I'm just going to read something. It says, this is how experts practice. First, they set a stretch goal, zeroing in on just one narrow aspect of their overall performance rather than focus on what they already do well. Experts strive to improve a specific weaknesses. It's pretty cool. So those are my signing out words. Here, Danny. We're going to get some more vlogs out too, so stay tuned for those. And then episode 3.
So on our next episode, I'm going to introduce one of my other friends. I call him Xavi. He's going to be on here talking about his vlog, and we'll get into different perspectives on his life and how it's benefited him. So stay tuned for that. Go ahead and hit that good karma button, the like button, and the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the comments.
You're not gonna want to,
or not the comments, but any of the material that comes out. And let's grow together.
Yeah.